Hi everyone, it's me, Melinda Sue, and today's Monday, and I'm going to be watching a live that Rich and Joy did yesterday. It's about an hour that I have pulled up, maybe a little more, and yeah, let's just jump into it.
So mean. So, he was so much of a chauvinist and I don't know. He just was all about like women did everything. He didn't do anything. Like she did all the cooking and cleaning, but then he also didn't even work. But he was always injured. So my mom like worked
Her
her ass off, and then he
stepdad.
was like be like women need to submit to their husbands kind of thing. But he was just like it's very ugh, just like total uh, like oh, it's like these women out here. I mean, some of them say these nasty things to me. I'm like, your husband must be like my stepdad. But what's hard is, for some reason now, it's like, my stepdad is my stepdad. Like, and she never liked my stepdad while my mom was alive. She didn't like him at all. He didn't get along. And then when my mom died, she like white knighted him when it's like really his fault. And whether my mom wanted to die or not, it's still his fault. She wanted to die because she hated her husband. And he gave her a gun when she was depressed, when she wanted to die. You don't give someone a gun. So, anyways, but my sister just basically is choosing my stepdad over me in a way. So stupid. Because he's such an asshole. Like, no one likes him. No one in the family likes him except for my sister now. And no one ever did like him except for my sister now. But she didn't like him when my mom was alive. So I was like, why are you having him?
Does anybody wonder if I know they talked before, like when the sister sent all the pictures, but does she know that she's talking about her on YouTube? Like, I wonder if that was a conversation. And is she okay with that?
Because I mean, because I honestly can't respect her. But like, how do you not see that like he's at least partially responsible? You act like he has no part in the fact that our mom died. He was the only one with her the whole time she was depressed, basically. And he gives her a gun. I don't know. So it's really difficult because I don't have the ability to be fake. So like when I text my sister, I'm real, but it's like I don't get too deep because I don't have the ability to be fake. If that makes sense. So like it's hard because I have like a shallow relationship. And I don't like. That's why I only like text her for like holidays. And I'm not gonna text her very often if I'm not gonna be deep. I'm not into that kind of relationship. I'm not into like having like acquaintances and just like if I'm gonna have someone in my life, I want to be real with them. So, but I'm proud of her for her family and stuff. She's doing good. She's got her little boy and her two stepsons, and she's doing good. I think. She's did like she took care of herself. After my mom died. Like I think she was handled things a little better than I did. I did not handle it well. She kind of handled things a little better. Like my sister was a little bit more wild before my mom died, and then she went like super square when my mom died, and we switched. I was like very square, normal, like very, put together, go get her, overachiever, in the military and everything, and then it always. Then when my mom died, I was like, everything just went. So we kind of switched, and I wanted to be either a pilot, a teacher, or a lawyer my whole life. And my sister ended up becoming a teacher. She never wanted to be a teacher, so it was funny. And I did become a teacher when I was in the Air Force, I became an instructor. But she actually became a school teacher, which is one of the things I was going to do. So it's weird we switched. And she ended up like kind of like being very very mainstream, I guess. So it was such a swap because before my mom died, my sister was like floundering around in college, taking forever to graduate college. And she went to first she went to San Diego State, and then she went to Chico State, and they were both like party schools, and she was just like having a great time. Like she was really into drugs and alcohol and stuff, and just having a good time. And then I was like really serious, I was.
Is that even fair of her to just out her sister like that? Like, I wouldn't be talking about my family like that. Like, here's all my sister's secrets.
Therefore, taking life pretty seriously, really serious about my career at the age of 17 to 20. I was very immature for my age. And then when my mom died, I just like, I don't know. Everyone was like, she didn't handle it well at all. I remember, I went off the deep end.
Did she ever handle it better?
I remember thinking early on that I was not going to go off the deep end. Like, I'm going to be one of those people that, like, keeps it together even though my mom died, you know? Because at first, when I was in the Air Force still, I was keeping it together for those first several months. And I thought, oh, I can do this. But as soon as they grounded me in the Air Force, everything just went to poo. So then I remember years later being like, I'm one of those people that did not handle it well, where they go, oh, Joy was really on course for a good life. And then her mom died, and she went off the deep end. It's like 100% that way. Like, it's like there's just like, oh, I'm trucking along, and then I was like, fell off the ledge. 100%. Like, everything went haywire for me. Like, I was even pretty normal with diet. I mean, I struggled a little bit with eating disorders when I was younger, of like anorexia, but I'd kind of already gotten over that because I'd already started like eating normally and stuff, and I'd become a vegan, and I kind of enjoyed that and stuff. I was kind of like into, like, I thought, you know, that was really healthy. And then when my mom died, I dove into alcohol and bulimia. I kind of just discovered bulimia too right about that time. Like, I'd never really done that before, and so those two things, like, oh, haywire. And it's really sad because I lost a lot of relationships over bulimia. Because I was very open about my eating disorder always. So, like, I would tell people and then they would judge me. And so my family often would kick me out of places. So, like, even like when my sister, when the girls first invited me.
It's an addiction. So they can't just accept you for that. Like, they don't want to slowly watch you kill yourself, Joy. Did you want them to accept you for that? Like, is that the line you drew? Accept that I'm going to be bulimic or don't be in my life? I wouldn't want that for anyone in my life. That's all you think about is food.
Part of probably why they wanted me to leave is because I was bulimic, because I'd be like in the bathroom a lot of stuff, you know. I remember we only had like one bathroom and being there all the time, you know. And it was just kind of, I was kind of a nuisance with the bulimia thing around the house, you know. I used to eat too much food and stuff. And, but I just remember like thinking back, like, I kind of wish, and then even like my dad said, "Mom, they kicked me out for stuff." I just kind of wish people had kept me a little bit of slack. You know, like, literally my mom had just either killed herself or been murdered. And I was only 20 years old. And, like, the only way I knew how to cope was this bulimia thing, because it just made me feel better or whatever. And everyone judged me so bad. And they, like just couldn't even, like, wow, how could you be bulimic? What is wrong with you? I'm like, and I just took it because I thought it was crazy. I thought, I don't know why I'm weird. I don't know. Like, I didn't think about it. I'm like, well, duh. I was, like, dealing with, like, the hardest thing ever, because the thing about me is I was insanely close to my mom. Like, my sister, I think, dealt with it better because she wasn't even as close to my mom as I was. Like, me and my mom, there isn't anyone in the world that I've ever been closer to than my mother. Like, she was my best friend. I didn't even have friends. I just hung out with my mom.
I hate to bring up another show, but have you guys ever seen Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where Kim tells the sisters that they just don't understand what happened because she was closest to the dad when he died? That's what this feels like. Like, oh, no one can understand. You can't make up. What I'm trying to say is, she shouldn't be saying how her sister felt about the death, like, or how her sister felt about their relationship, because that's theirs. You couldn't know that. You only know about your relationship. I don't know. That just doesn't feel fair of Joy to even say.
All my life. I mean, she was my buddy. We were just, and my mom kind of made me hang out with her. Like, she didn't even want me to have friends. I was like, oh, my buddy, because she kind of, like, was very obsessed with me and stuff. And she, when I was in the Air Force, she would write me, like, at least
everyone's obsessed with you, Joy, so makes sense.
And she would email me about 5 times a day, and she would call me at least once a day. So it's very weird when she got very depressed, because that all went to nothing. Except for early on, when she first got depressed, she started, like, psycho emailing me, like, really awful things. She was, like, belligerent, weird stuff. I don't know. I don't remember most of it, but very disturbing. She's very mad at me because this whole, I overdrafted her credit card, which she had set up. I was young and stupid. Someone had, like, exaggerated this. It was not all that much money. But to my mom, $1,000, you might as well, you know, chop her arm off for that. You know what I mean? So,
I don't remember
she didn't have a lot of money.
I don't remember if her mom was a drunk. I don't remember her saying that. I might have just, but I'm gonna ask somebody.
So, she'd set up her credit card for overdraft to my bank account, because I was young and I overdrafted my account one time. And so then I thought she would let me know if I ever overdrafted. And so, because now that it was set up, it didn't let me know. So I was just, being young and not managing my account. And then, so I guess it was overdrafting to her credit card. And she didn't let me know until it had accrued a certain amount. Which, to be honest, I don't remember the exact amount is.
You just had no idea.
It was not that significant. Like, it was not, it was probably around like $2,000 or something like that.
You probably didn't want to know.
It was like $1,000. But, my mom, because she only had, like, my mom maximum, I think, on any credit card ever had, like, $3,000, and this one wasn't, already had my, like, things on it, But so someone said, oh, it's $5,000. No, my mom's never had a credit card that had $5,000. She didn't have that kind of money. She was very poor. So she got mad at me, and then it was all around the time that she got depressed. So it was like she shut down. And so last I knew, she was mad at me, and so it was really difficult because she was like pissed off at me about this thing, and then she kind of shut down into a depression. So like the last thing my mom really ever kind of talked to me about was being mad about this stupid credit card thing, which is so stupid because it really didn't even matter. You know what I mean? Like that credit card debt was so insignificant. You know what I mean? And then she ended up dying. It's so silly like now. But it really did upset me, and I really did blame myself for a long time. And that's why I'm even more infuriated as I realized my stepdad played more of a factor, because I'm like, I blame myself. Like, I blame myself because I thought I upset my mom and stuff, and I was, and I thought, since I went in the Air Force in the first place, I knew that was my mom. And those things did play a factor, but like the fact that like my family kind of just let me take on all of the guilt and regret, when really it should be like, no, you're
I'm just guessing, but I guess that Joy maybe didn't communicate much, like, because I don't feel like she communicates how she actually feels now until she explodes. So that's what I'm guessing she probably did back then. You can't Joy, stop. I don't think she should be blaming other people for her behaviors. And that's all they ever do.
I shouldn't have given her a gun. You know what I mean? That she was more responsible, and no one went there. My mom's family did, but my sister wouldn't let them. So like at the funeral, she's like, anybody's got an issue with Brad, then you're not allowed to come to the funeral or whatever. So and if you come, then you can't say anything, kind of thing. She made this like big thing about it, and it's very weird. Brad is my stepdad. So I didn't talk to my mom's sister until a couple years ago, and that's when I found out all the like weird facts and stuff.
The big thing is everyone is very worried about you.
Why?
They think you need therapy, number one. Okay, hold on.
She thinks she's too good for therapy?
How exactly are we going to pay for this therapy?
Here's the thing. I've had a lot of experience with therapy, so I'm good on that. And like I said, it's very expensive. So yeah, we're not gonna.
It's not very expensive.
You guys some people are saying I needed therapy. I've been doing a lot of therapy. Yeah, I've seen so many counselors. Oh my gosh, they started sending me to counselors from the time I was like 6 years old, because that's when my dad first left. So they first started sending me and my sister to counselors, and then they sent me to see a counselor when I moved to Los Angeles with my dad when I was in high school, and then they sent me to see a counselor when my mom died when I was in the Air Force, and then they sent me to see a counselor when I was in alcohol treatment after my DUI when I was 22. So I've had plenty of counseling.
And you still have that thought process?
Maybe.
Sweet tooth, that's it.
Maybe probably free for counseling.
If you're looking at that, that'd be something. Because a lot of people are seeing the pattern that when a person repeats the same story about a tragic event, it's like, it means that they're asking for help. They hear you asking them for help, and they're saying,
well, it's more I want closure, and the only person that knows the truth is my stepdad, and he won't say.
Yeah, but at some point you have to accept, or Joy would have to accept, that you might not ever get closure. That's the worst part, having to be like, oh, maybe I'll just never know. And she's been through all this therapy. Maybe this is the time that'll help.
Like, I'm not even saying the truth is not, like, I'm not saying, oh, he definitely did it, and so I'm not, it's just, he needs to answer some questions, because he's told people different stories, and there's a lot of holes in what happened, and so I need to be able to ask him those things, and my sister's just unwilling to allow me to have those conversations with my stepdad. It's like, oh no, you're not even gonna go there. She literally said she would sue me for harassment, asking questions about my mom's death, and she's gonna sue me for harassment.
so they said I should stop doing this to you, but you're the one who wanted to come online.
Oh yeah, I want to come on. But that's my big issue, is until I can have some questions answered, I can't close the chapter in my mind, and that's why all these years later I'm still hung up on it, because honestly I pretty much thought it was what everyone said until I heard like 5 different stories of my mom's death told from the same person, 2 different people. So that makes me very uncomfortable. And then when I started to hear things like he abandoned the body when he didn't, he told us he cremated it, and he just left her there. My aunts had to take care of it and stuff. And then he said there was no money, but then he sold the house and gallivanted for 2 years. And just a lot of like things that make me very uncomfortable, and also just the fact that I gave her a gun in the first place. I mean, she was already writing suicide notes. It's not when you give someone a gun. You don't. Like, I had to talk her down. Bummer, because it's a...
So they didn't live together? I wonder if they were together. The story gets told so many times, I get it mixed up.
Out of me. But no matter what, like I said, like, even if my mom pulled the trigger, the fact he gave her a gun, my sister should be mad at my stepdad for that. And she's not going there. She's taking it out on me. Mad at me for questioning. I'm like, I'm not the one you should be mad at. You should be mad at the one that gave her a gun. I'm just saying you shouldn't have given her a gun, and you're mad at me for saying
forward
that.
a little bit too much.
My stepmom is losing her son didn't make her any better of a mom to her other son, so.
I went way too far. Sorry about this.
Isn't a worse tragedy that can occur. And most people are going to experience that, but you hope that it'll be at a natural course of life. So you get more adapted to it, but it's still hard. Even when people lose their mom when they're old and when they're...
Okay, sorry. I jumped to like half the thing was over, but I'm much closer now. Sorry about that. I'm just learning.
What?
You think you need therapy, number one. Okay, hold on. Tell them your experience with therapy, and number two, how exactly are we going to pay for this therapy?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I've had a lot of experience with therapy, so I'm good on that. And like we said, it's very expensive. So yeah, we're not gonna. You guys are. Some people are saying I needed therapy. I've been to a lot of therapy. Yeah, I've seen so many counselors. Oh my gosh, they started sending me to counselors from the time I was like 6 years old, because that's when my dad first left. So they first started.
Since we're back here again, I feel like every time you go to therapy throughout your life, like you can take a little more, and maybe this will be the one that changes everything.
Sending, me and my sister to counselors, and then they sent me to see a counselor when I moved to Los Angeles with my dad when I was in high school, and then they sent me to see a counselor when my mom died when I was in the Air Force, and then they sent me to see a counselor when I was in alcohol treatment after my DUI when I was 22. So I've had plenty of counseling.
Have you for some therapy, maybe?
Maybe.
Sweet people, that's it.
Maybe probably free for counseling there.
Maybe looking at that, that'd be something. Because a lot of people are seeing the pattern that when a person repeats the same story about a tragic event, it's like, it means that they're asking for help. They hear you asking them for help, and they're saying...
Well, it's more I want closure, and the only person that knows the truth is my stepdad, and he won't say it. Like, I'm not even saying the truth is not, like, I'm not saying, oh, he definitely did it, and so I'm not, it's just, he needs to answer some questions, because he's told people different stories, and there's a lot of holes in what happened, and so I need to be able to ask him those things, and my sister's just unwilling to allow me to have those conversations with my stepdad. It's like, oh no, you're not even gonna go there. She literally said she would sue me for harassment. Asking questions about my mom's death, and she's gonna sue me for harassment.
So it's gotten to the point where her family is so sick of her talking about it that they're threatening her legally. Wouldn't you want to stop talking about it? I don't know. I take my relationships with my family very seriously. And, like, that's good for your heart to worry about, like, how other people feel. I don't know what she's thinking.
Yeah, it's not she stopped doing this to you, but you're the one who wanted to come online.
Oh, yeah. I want to come
This is weird.
But that's my big issue is until I can have some questions answered, I can't close the chapter in my mind. And that's why all these years later...
Sometimes you don't get to. You don't get the answers you want.
I pretty much thought it was what everyone said until I heard like 5 different stories of my mom's death told from the same person, 2 different people. So that makes me very uncomfortable. And then when I started to hear things like he abandoned the body when he didn't, he told us he cremated it, and he just left her there. My aunts had to take care of it and stuff. And then he said there was no money, but then he sold the house and gallivanted for 2 years. And a lot of like things that make me...
She could never get those answers because people remember things differently, especially throughout time. Like, you're never going to get those answers, and that's a hard pill to swallow.
Very uncomfortable, and also
stop using it as an excuse to talk about it.
I mean, she was already writing suicide notes. It's not when you give someone a gun. You don't. Like, I had to talk her down when I was there visiting because my stepdad had me come emergency leave from the Air Force. It was my mom because he said she was so depressed. And when I was there, I found notes, and I would talk to her, and I was like, please don't do that. Like, I thought that we were good with that because I really, talked to her a lot about it while I was there. I was there for 2 weeks. And I never dreamed that after I left, he would give her a gun on any level. Like, she couldn't even talk or bathe herself or eat. Like, you had to feed her, you had to bathe her, and she was like a zombie. It's not the time to give someone a gun. So, it was my first question when he told me. I said, why did she have a gun? I mean, it literally was my first question when he told me back in 2005. And his answer was, she was starting to feel better. I didn't let you know, but she was starting to feel better. She wanted to learn to shoot a gun, which my mom was in the military. She already knows how to shoot a gun. She didn't need to learn to shoot a gun. She doesn't like guns. She became I think it's non-compliant in the military. She first learned to shoot a gun, and then she realized she didn't like it. She became Christian and didn't want to shoot guns anymore. So she, you put you in positions where you can't ever be sent to war or whatever in the military. But so she was very anti-guns, and my stepdad always had guns, and she made him lock them up. She didn't want act.
I feel like as a partner, Rich should be pushing her to get help, especially with a parent who did that. Like, you should want your partner to feel better about that. You're to blame too, Rich.
She didn't want anyone to have access to them. Like, she didn't want, like,
you're letting her do it and filming it.
So that was my first question: is like, how did she get access to your guns? Because you always have them locked up, you know. And so that's when he was like, oh, I gave it to her. You know, I was like, why? You know. I mean, I remember it.
Yeah, it sucks.
Just being like, why? It doesn't make sense why you would give her a gun, you know? But my sister was so adamant that my sister's reasoning was, Mom wanted to die. Mom wanted to die. Since Mom wanted to die, it's not Brad's fault. I'm like, just because she wanted to die didn't mean she would have without a gun. So, because I have tried committing suicide 3 times in my life with pills, and it doesn't work. It's not as easy as a gun. So if she didn't have a gun, she might still be alive. So that's why it is his fault, no matter what. And whether he helped, and I think he helped her. That's what I fully believe. I mean, that's what I fully believe when I close my eyes and I say,
do you want to believe that?
Happened.
Is that what you want to believe? Even if it didn't happen, are you still going to push it? I should have paused it.
And he's such an asshole, and he didn't really care about my mom. I mean, that was like his 4th wife. He's on to like 6 now or something. And he'd always take advantage of my mom, and he abused her. So, and he lied to her when they first got married and everything. I mean, there's so many things he didn't tell her, so it was really bad.
I don't know, this might be out of line and stuff for me to say, but didn't you want your mom to try to get help? Maybe you should, like, want to do that for her. I can't imagine losing someone like that, but over and over and over again, I just wonder if Rich and Joy are just using it at this point. Or if Rich, like, wants her to talk about it all the time. It's a shitty story. It sucks, and I'm sorry for her, but
child support to his kids. I mean, he's a degenerate loser. So when I close my eyes and I say what happened, what I hear is that she just said, "Will you do it for me?" Because like I don't think she could actually physically even pull the trigger in her state. But also, I don't think she could do it because she would always think about me and my sister before she did it. Like I fully believe that, and that's what I always thought. And that's why I didn't know how it ever happened. Like I fully always felt like. Because my mom has been depressed in my life many times. But like me and my sister would always kept her alive. And I just felt like there'd never be a moment that she could just fully pull the trigger because she'd think of us before she did. But he could.
In her line of work and everything else, that's dangerous.
I mean, he literally lied. I don't know why my sister, he lied to us about everything, even the finances, so there's no money. He said there's only debt. He sold the house and then gallivanted for 2 years. Oh really, there was no money, but you didn't work for 2 years and traveled the world. And there was a house. So what happened to, like, you sold the house. So money comes from a house when you sell it. We weren't asking for money, but just the fact that he, like, lied to us. You know, I didn't need money from my mom. I wanted my mom. But, like, that's even more incentive. Like, there was money that he lied about, too, you know. And he ended up marrying a woman that my mom was counseling, because my mom was a counselor. She was counseling this man and his wife, who Brad's brother was having an affair with this woman. So my mom was trying to get him back with the husband and wife back together away from Brad's brother, because my mom didn't like Brad's brother.
That's a hell of a story.
Marrying that woman who had an affair with his brother. She had 5 kids, and I'm like, this isn't weird at all. Like, she was with your brother. My mom was counseling her and her husband. My mom dies. You just hook up with her, and you know, there's like all these 5 kids that just like don't have a dad now, are stuck with you. And he was super mean. I was there one time when my sister was making this go hang out. He'd like scream at her boys and stuff, and I'm like, why do they listen to him? They're not. He's not their dad. Because my mom was really good about. She didn't let my stepdad discipline us because he's violent. And that was one thing. So he was violent with her, but she never allowed him to be violent with me or my sister. So I had to protect my mom. She would come and hide in my room. So that was violent. Like he He was aggressive about it. He didn't hit, he threw things. So you had to dodge.
Joy has so much pain, and she just doesn't want help. She just wants to wallow in it. And just keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. It really makes me sad for her, especially with what she goes through with her eating, what she's going through with her job. Rich, I would be much more worried if I was you. I'd be very worried about my wife.
And if you didn't,
not my wife,
you know. And he pointed a gun at my mom and grandma before when I was 10, and that my grandma had moved in because my grandpa had died, and she moved out and disowned my mom due to that because my stepdad pointed the gun at my mom and grandma because they were scared and they were having a fight, and he almost burnt the house down of my dance teacher. We were renting the house from my dance teacher, and she trusted my family to let us stay in this really nice house, and then my stepdad almost burnt down the house and then put a gun on my mom and grandma, and so she kicked us out. And that was embarrassing, so I didn't want to go to dance anymore, so that's why I quit dance.
Yeah, I
did
quit
go back,
dance
like,
too, Jiminy Christmas.
So my stepdad ruined that for me too. And my grandma left, which really sucks. I didn't see my grandma ever again. I never saw my grandma again until my mom's funeral because of my stepdad. And so that's the kind of quality person he is. And so that's why my mom's family already was questioning. And so when I called one of my mom's two sisters and one of her best friends, who was like a grandpa to me, I said, do you think Brad could have been involved in my mom's death? And he said, oh, so Brad killed your mom 100%. You didn't know that? Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Brad killed your mom, no question. And he said he had actually looked into it and had tried to investigate, but she died in Gold Beach, Oregon. It's a really small town. There was only like 5 or 8 cops in the whole police department. It was 8, he said. And they just didn't really want to dive into it very far because it's a tourist town. It looks better to be a suicide than a murder, you know? And it was pretty easy. They just kind of like wrote it off really quickly as suicide without really any. They said their only evidence was she had gun residue on her finger. That was the only thing. Which she could have touched the gun. Didn't mean she's the one that pulled the trigger on herself, but that's as far as they took it. So it was very difficult
for me to find
that out a couple years ago because I kind of just. I couldn't really figure out why I still like couldn't let it go at all, you know. Like I was like, why can't I just move on a little bit? I get it, you know, as much as I love my mom. But when they reopened all that stuff and like I heard all these things I'd never heard, you know, like that Kim abandoning the body, and that he told different stories to different people about how she died. That I was really disturbed by because I didn't know that. So I was like, well, why would there be different stories? That doesn't make sense. If it's true what he told me, why would he have different stories to different people? So that just threw me. So that's when I started talking to my sister, and that was like a couple years ago. She went ape shit. She even called the cops on me.
Because if she's trying to put that... So if your sister was like trying to make peace with it and put that behind her, and she's worked through it and tried to get over it, and you're bringing it back up and making her hurt again, why would you want to talk about that with her?
Cops came and I asked the cops. I said,
"Misery loves company."
And I said, you know, I explained everything, and I said, "Is it common for women to shoot themselves in the heart?" I said, "Not all that common, but it does happen because some women want to keep their, you know, face nice for the casket." And I was like, "That's a ridiculous thing to say. No one killing themselves cares what they look like in their casket. It's ridiculous." But I don't think it is. They said it's not super common. I don't think it is at all for women to shoot themselves in the heart. So, and that's how she died.
That's strange.
I don't know. The whole thing's weird. So yeah, it's just the problem why I still struggle with it is because there's so many, you know, questions in my mind. And what makes it hard is I could kind of accept if she did it, even though I never really understood how, because I know how much my mom loves me. So as much as she wanted to not be here, I always felt like I didn't know how she did, but I still kind of did because I knew she was really, really depressed. So I could accept that as hard as it was. And I wasn't mad at my mom because I understood how bad her life was at the time. And her life sucked with that fucking dude. And she wasn't going to divorce him. It was already her second marriage. She didn't want to do that, you know, just poor thing. She had a miserable life, that guy. But anyways, but what is the big thing is if she didn't do it, well, then I could still have a mom. Do you see what I mean? Because like I can accept if it was her choice. Does that make sense? As hard as it is, but if it wasn't fully her choice, then it makes it way harder. So part of me is just like, I don't even want to go there because the amount of anger. I already have that amount of anger towards him, but like, I think I probably should just unleash it because that's why I'm angry at other people. It's really just anger at my stepdad. Because no matter what, it's all his fault. Because like I said, he was awful as a husband the whole time. That's why she didn't want to live. I mean, he made her life.
Did she just say she's angry at her stepdad and that's why she's so mean to other people? If you know that, write him a letter, and then after you write him a letter, mail it. Say what you want to say. Maybe he'll read it, maybe he won't.
Hell. And it was not getting better. It was getting worse. I mean, she just would give me little clues, you know, like, because he was violent and broke things and would throw things at you all the time.
I think it's a thing to just like, I've written a letter and not sent it before, but like you get all of that out and it feels good, and then you just rip it off and get it away. If you hate somebody that much, it's not even worth your time.
When I was in the Air Force, she would make him buy me things.
Maybe he'll write you back.
I didn't care about, but like porcelain dolls and things. I used to have a lot of those things because he would throw and break anything that was breakable would get broken, and so I knew that he was still being really violent, and I didn't like that. I didn't really know what to do, you know. But when I was young, he had been violent, and so I always protected my mom, and so it upset me that no one was there to protect her when I was in the Air Force, and. So in a way, I was glad that she didn't have to be with him anymore. But if he's the one that even pulled the trigger, you're like, oh man, dude, you just are something else. You know what I mean? Whereas if she did it, I'd be like, oh, I understand, you get away from him. You know what I mean? Almost like I've always given her a pass because he's that bad. And my mom was just stuck. She really didn't want to go through another relationship. I mean, she'd been with my dad for 13 years, and then he cheated on her with my stepmom now. And so he divorced my mom, and that crushed her. And then she had been with Brad for about 10 years. So she really didn't want to start a new relationship, you know what I mean? So she was pretty much stuck. And so that's why I've never been mad at her for if it was her decision, you know what I mean? Because I understood she just felt like, I don't want to get divorced, I don't want to start over, I don't want to be with this guy. My daughters are grown up now. We were out of the house. And so I felt like that's why she wanted to go. And I always felt that. I understood that. And I do feel like she did say that to him. But here's the thing. No matter what, if he could do that, like that's so messed up. Like, I don't care if you think like, oh, I'm doing it for love. No, like the fact that you could kill someone that you were married to, like you're...
But he might not have.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. If he is capable of that.
It's crazy to think about it so much.
Like, oh, my God. If that's the case, we're like... So, there's a lot of questions in my mind that I don't know I even want to answer. Because then if, like, my stepdad was capable of that, then it's, like, scary that we ever lived with this guy. Capable of murder, you know what I mean? Which his brother did beat the heck out of these guys where they were bloody one time with a 2x4 thing. Wood. Didn't even do anything really. Just almost like backed into his daughter, but didn't. And I mean, they're very, very violent family. They're violent drugs. And that was disturbing. I mean, he was gonna kill the guys. It was crazy. That's Brad's brother, so.
Good choice, Rich.
I don't know. I mean, I saw him throw so much stuff at my mom, like hot irons at her head and stuff, and glass, crystal lamps and stuff, and all the plates in the house, all the cups in the house, anything glass. She, I think, always dodged the stuff, but still. The hot iron, that one, I remember, I was like, oh, that made a mark on the wall. He threw it, she ducked, and I went right into the wall. Yeah, my stepdad used to take off all the time, like he would, because they would get in huge fights, and because he was violent, he would leave for like a long time. We wouldn't know if he was gonna go back, and he would take the car, and we wouldn't know if he was ever gonna go back. And he'd go on like a, I don't know, drunken debacle for however long, you know.
So she was raised by drunks. That makes sense. Kind of. That sucks. She had a hard life. She really did. But I wish she would try to get help again. Because that could really change everything. And I just It's sad. Super sad.
And then he'd eventually come back. Oh, darn it. I was always hoping he wouldn't come back. He would. But anyways, so that's the kind of person you're dealing with, that people, like, I love the people that are, like, defending Mr. That they're, like, making channels, like, you should really check your sources and evaluate who you're standing up for. Oh my gosh, so we were watching this movie. I think it seemed like a short movie unless I fell asleep half it or something, but it was Anna Kendrick, and it was about this guy that, like, I guess it seemed like a short movie unless I fell asleep half it or something, but it was Anna Kendrick, and it was about this guy that, like, I guess was like a kind of like a serial killer kind of guy, but like ended up going on the dating show. Did you guys see this movie? I don't know what it's called. And he was gonna kill the girl that was on the show, but luckily she got weirded out enough because they were gonna go on a date.
Interesting.
Like they wanted to go to like Carmel, California. She got weirded enough by him just in their interaction on the show after the show that she got the heck away from him. But he did try to, like, even that day get her, but then other people came out. But he was like it was like a true story or something. There was this guy, and he later went to prison or whatever. But like he was on live TV on a dating show trying to find women to kill. Isn't that crazy? Weird. But I was talking about Richard. Like, I wonder about these serial killer stories. So I don't seem to have too many serial killers now, which seemed like there was more serial killers before we had a lot of evidence, or like, or better ways to collect evidence now. And so, like, you're like, what? That's serial killer theories. It seemed like more when they didn't really have as much DNA evidence and stuff like that, Then it was like, oh, it's all one person. But I don't know. But oh, no, off of there. No.
Scare the crap out of me.
Bad boy getting out of bed. Bad boy, you gotta go back. Bad boy getting out of bed. What you thinking? Me and bad boy getting out of bed. He's been being so good about that. Being so good. I think he was right on the bed. I don't think he peed. I think I got him in time. What happens is he's getting, he needs attention because I'm talking to you guys. And he's like, look at me. Oh, I'm gonna jump out of bed now. Oh, I got your attention. He is the best buddy. I seriously feel so blessed. Like, I feel like I couldn't have a better buddy in the world. Like, he's adorable. He's sweet. He's spunky. He's funny. He's loving. He's so darn sweet. He's just the cutest. But he's obsessed with his little kibble treats things, the little couple things you get the bunny food. And the vet said he's supposed to have that in a very small amount.
He's obsessed with his food. It's like animals are supposed to be. God.
Oh, he would drive me nuts because I've been trying to cut him back on it, but then he wants it. So he'll be like, wait, where's my little snacks? It's like, because he knows it's
Stop taking food away from things. Stop.
Empty because he's been overeating it. And
take care of yourself. Let other people and things eat.
She told me I cannot feed him all that much of that. I was feeding him too much, so this is difficult. Because he gets mad at me, but I want him to be healthy. So she said that makes him fat. That's what's making him fat. He's a little chubby.
He's not
fat.
I
thought he was getting a little too chubby.
Oh my god.
So he goes back in November 1st. I gotta lose a little weight before he gets back there and keeps eating too much. He's such a little porky pig.
Oh my god.
But now they said he was healthy, but she said he is a little bit heavy. Because I smell him a little bunny food. So he needs to eat primarily hay, but he's not a big fan of hay. He wants to eat anything but hay, which is so difficult because he's supposed to eat primarily hay. And he likes the alfalfa hay. She said he can't have that as an adult, that it's bad on his teeth. He only had that when he was a baby, so I'm like, that's only hay he likes. So it's very difficult. He's very picky. He's a high maintenance bunny, but I don't mind. I love it that way because I like eating my little buddy. But anyhow, what's going on around here? Annette was in a really good mood today. I got Annette some. I got an avocado down. You guys have videos and huge avocados at Albertsons. She was really excited, and then she's not really on the protein anymore, so kind of got her some Cheez-Its today. She's not really on the protein anymore, so she loves Cheez-Its. Yeah, they're all on sale today at Albertsons, and I got her some bananas. Totally not the protein stuff anymore, but she's not really on the protein thing anymore. So kind of just back to her original.
Good.
She loves bananas and Cheez-Its and avocados. Those have protein nice, and they have a lot of protein that like Gloria's been making for the meals. But Annette is kind of back to snacking throughout the day, which I'm not getting on either of their things. I'm letting them just do whatever they want. So
Dallas is here.
Yeah.
Dallas was born in 1985 and lives in Portland.
No.
I like
And
that name.
has a headband in her profile pic. It's so random.
Portland. That's awesome. Wow, that's so cool. I like Portland. That's where these guys are all from. Richard and Annette. But I lived there for about 6 years.
I'll give you one chance. Oh, he's just saying, talking about like your stepdad killing your mom when you shut down a lie, which is totally true. That's not true. You can talk about your fucking stepdad.
This is my story. So I mean, it's the truth. I say because I'm saying I don't know for sure. I'm not,
That's coming across from a lot of these men. They're literally telling me that it's my fault, that I need to come over here and tell you to shut up and stop talking about this, and console you and comfort you in private. And I've been like, well, we've lived together for like 12 years. I don't know. I said you need support from your female friend, and they're like, she needs treatment, she needs inpatient treatment, she needs doctors, she needs Richard to tell her to shut up and stop talking right now. I'm like, first of all,
okay. For one thing, that's just haters because when I talk, we get viewers. So they just want me to not talk.
right?
So.
I get that. So my point is though that they're trying to make me look bad, like because I'm not consoling.
For one thing, I'm not in any state right now that I need. I'm telling you guys stuff that I talk about all the time. This is the truth of like what happened with my mom's death. That's nothing I need to go to inpatient because I'm talking about my mom's death, which it happened this time of year. Yeah, it's
a big deal.
So, and there's still holes in the whole closure of the story. You know what I mean? So that's not, oh, she needs to go to therapy. And
Hold on, just 1 second.
For one thing, you guys are super judgmental, and I also really don't appreciate that. That's not actually how you help someone if they're
Give them a
something.
hug.
You don't just say, oh, go to a doctor and go to inpatient. And like, thanks for all y'all's help. Like my husband actually knows how to help me, and me talking about it and coming on here is actually super helpful. And YouTube is not going to shut me down because I'm talking about my mom. So that's insane, and people are really hateful and nasty because this is a.
It's also, yes, your husband's consoling you, and in his own way, sure. But people also care about you too and understand your backstory, and like maybe you might need to try to get help again. People show they care in different ways than just your perfect way, Joy.
Very serious thing. And for you guys to even just start with your stupidity when I talk about this, I don't know if it's like a jealousy because you like are upset that like I have like a crazy thing that happened in my life and your life is not interesting. But guess what? You don't want this to have happened to you, okay? But I seriously think people are like, oh, don't talk about your life. It's too interesting. Like, sorry that my life has been insanely, crazily interesting. Like every single aspect of it, even down to my mom's insane death. You know what I mean? And so I'm sorry that me talking about it gets views and gets people interested, and people, the haters can't stand that their dull, boring lives, like they haven't even had sadness in their life, but without sadness you don't have happiness. So it's like their lives are so dull that they'd even take some sadness in their life because at least something, you know what I mean? Like to have lived, to have loved and lived and lost,
Loved and lived
not
and
loved
lost.
or lived or lost at all. Seriously, because I love my mom so much, and my time with my mom, I wouldn't trade that for the world. And I would, if it had to keep going the way that it went, I would do it over and over again just to spend the 20 years I spent with my mom.
And this is the hard. Dallas gets it because when she was
Dallas
21,
gets it.
her daughter died around this time of year. So she understands.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, of course, it's sad because I love my mom and I want my mom to be here. Like I'm only 39
I
years
didn't
old.
know
I
he was
still
going to
have a
say
mom.
that.
So yeah, I'm gonna miss my mom till the day I die because I wanted to have a mom till the day I die. You know, what I mean, basically, I mean, not just to say till the day I die because you would hope that your mom doesn't have to watch you die, so you want to go, her to go before you, but not that young. You know what I mean? Because yeah, it's like I would say to lose your child is about equally as difficult as losing your parents. They're both in the same realm because it's like the parent losing the child and the child losing the parent. Both that relationship is basically the same. You know what I mean? That's the relationship that's being lost. Is the closest relationship you can have, especially a mom to a child, because the mom gave birth to the child. So there isn't a stronger relationship in the universe between a mother and a child, even stronger than a father.
Yeah.
Because the mother actually had the child in their womb. So to lose your mother, or for a mother to lose her child, it really isn't a worse tragedy that can occur. And most people are going to experience that, but you hope that it'll be at a natural course of life. So you get more adapted to it, but it's still hard. Even when people lose their mom when they're old and when their mom is old, it's still hard. No one wants to lose their mom, and no mom wants to lose her child. Like I said, you would hope it goes that the mom doesn't have to lose the child, because that's not the natural course of life. It should be that the parent lives long and dies before the child, then the child, I mean, that's how you would hope. But yeah, anytime that relationship is severed, it's very difficult for people. Because I now do not have a mom. I don't have anything close to a mom. Because Gloria is not a mom Like, she's not a mom to Richard and Annette. She's especially not a mom to me. Are you kidding? You don't even like me. And then my stepmom didn't even really like
How
me.
dare you?
She's not a very good mom either. She don't want nothing to do with her kids. She gave.
Like, how dare you? Because Joy wants to say how everyone should treat her, and we should all respect Joy, and we should respect her choices. But I don't think you respect anyone else even close to that, or treat people how you want to be treated at all. But we should all listen to you and think you're interesting and think you know everything. You're delusional in La La Land, man.
She gave basically her kids away too. I mean, one she sent into homes most of his life. My stepbrother was autistic, and the other one she sent to live with his friends when he was in high school, and he ended up becoming like fully adopted that family and really didn't want much to do with our family. It's crazy. So it's like she basically gave up her kids. So those are the two other mothers I have in my life besides my mom. My mom was an amazing mom, but then I only got to have her after 20 years of my life. Where these other wacky moms, I can have them in my life for all this time, but they haven't been any sort of motherly figure for me.
Maybe you don't want them to be, so you make up shit.
So, probably the most motherly figure since my mom died was my old boss for a minute. She actually had the same name as my mom. They were about the same age. They were exactly the same name. Named Laura, both named Laura. And her birthday was August 20th, and my mom's was August 26th. So that was really cool. For 4 years, I worked at Keller Williams, and she was my boss there. And she was like mom to me. And I took her to see an Alan Jackson concert because she loves Alan Jackson in Portland on her birthday. But she was kind of a motherly figure to me, but then that was only for 4 years. And ever since then, I hasn't been anyone like that. So it's very difficult to not have a mom. And so I don't think it's that I need to go to inpatient counseling, the fact that I'm sad that I don't have a mom. I didn't have a mom since I was 20 years old. I think that's pretty normal to be upset about that. And now I've almost been alive the same amount of time of having a mom and not having a mom. So I had a mom for 20 years, and now I haven't had a mom for 19 years. So next year it'll be 20 and 20. So it'll be even amount I've had a mom, even time I haven't had a mom in my life. And so it's just a hard thing to go through life without a mom. And people can, think that I am a wuss for missing my mom or whatever, but I tell you what, don't ever wish that upon even your worst enemy for them to lose their mom. It's the worst thing that you could ever experience.
I think you've said it.
And I relate so much to
someone
that lost their mom. I mean, we're like,
when you lose your mom.
If I hear they've lost their mom, I'm like, oh. Especially the younger they are, I'm like, oh my gosh. I totally get it. And I do feel for my stepmom. She lost her son, but like it wasn't very in the first place, but still it's hard. But the hard thing with my stepmom is losing her son didn't make her any better of a mom to her other son. So, but or to me or my sister. So it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just one of those things that I just feel like.
Have we ever heard Joy compliment anyone or just tear them apart?
What's making it the hardest is that my stepdad is causing a rift between me and my sister. So that's what I'm more upset about. That's why I'm talking about it today, because it's my sister's birthday. So my mom's death is causing a rift between me and my sister because she's protecting my stepdad, and I'm being like, hey, can we look into the fact that maybe he plays a factor in her death? Oh no. Well, he didn't give her a gun no matter what. Well, she wanted to die. I don't care if she wanted to die. It doesn't mean you give someone a gun. That's actually more reason you don't give someone a gun if they want to die. That's why you don't give someone who wants to die a gun. I mean, like, I don't understand why this is. You're saying she wanted to die, so why did she have a gun? So that's why it's an issue. It makes it where I can't even talk about my sister. I can text her, but it's shallow, And I can feel her animosity coming at me because she's angry that. What she's angry about is that she's denying the reality that she's angry at my stepdad. She's not angry at me.
Dum, dum, dum. Just like you.
Out at me. But no matter what, like I said, even if my mom pulled the trigger, the fact he gave her a gun, my sister should be mad at my stepdad for that. And she's not going there. She's taking it out on me. Mad at me for questioning. I'm like, I'm not the one you should be mad at. You should be mad at the one that gave her a gun. I'm just saying you shouldn't have gave her a gun, and you're mad at me for saying that. So that's why it's a bummer, because it's affecting like the relationship of the only like family member I'd like to have a relationship with. Because my dad has a relationship still. I don't know what his trip is, but I'd like to still have a relationship with my sister. And it's just kind of like it's causing such a like when we talk, it's just so I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like fake. Because like our big thing is like she's like, how dare you Russian Brad, and I'm like, how dare you protect Brad? You know what I mean? And so like anything else we talk about, like, how's the weather, kind of thing, you know, just kind of like dancing around the big issues. But anyway, I think I'm gonna make Rich some dinner. Let's see if he's hungry. That
What
would
are you
be
gonna
today.
eat?
Let's see. And you guys can watch that. Let me see.
You gonna eat burgers? You gonna eat beef?
Did he pee on my bed? That's it. He did not. But he pooped on the bed. He pooped it, but he did not pee. Good. That's the poo-poos. Good thing. Richard, would you like me to make you burgers?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll move you guys over here.
Yeah.
Okay, we got 8 cameras, all these lights. We got 2. Just set up here. Let me see. Hold on. So we got beef from Whole Foods today because I had to return some stuff to Amazon. And I decided now I'm liking the Whole Foods better than Sprouts. I'm so funny. I change my mind every 2 seconds too. So I like the organic brand. Organic, not like Eel River. So suppliers for their organic beef, which is strange to me that they would have to. Like normally they just sort of I'm gonna just set these cameras up for me. I'm gonna get the beef. Can you get these cameras set up for me? I'm gonna get the beef.
Okay. Time to get the camera set up. All right. Now we're doing the cooking show.
You kitty.
Trying to do it the StreamYard. I don't know. I don't like the way they handle this. The continuity camera. I know you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but okay. Go stand over there and see how it looks. Hello, Lisa McCarthy.
Yeah.
Lisa McCarthy's here. Look at that.
Hi, Lisa.
How are you, Lisa?
How are you? I'm gonna make some dinner for Richard.
Hey, Timmy Time. How are
This
you?
is from
Timmy time.
I'm thinking I'm gonna start getting Whole Foods. I'm really liking it. It's funny because I was really liking Sprouts. I thought they tasted better, but now this one. So it's funny how we go back and forth sometimes. But this is organic rancher. Richard's doing the 85, which is only $8.99, which is a lot, but I say only $8.99 because that's how much it costs at Albertsons. So it's the same as Albertsons, but that is expensive for beef. I know that.
What's up with cooking in the bathroom?
But it's the same as Albertsons, so it's like it's not any more than Albertsons.
What's your latest story on why we're cooking in the bathroom? What's the fastest way to explain it now?
It's just easiest because we live here with Gloria and Annette, and they do all the cooking out there. And Gloria's a little territory of the kitchen, and so the easiest thing is just to cook in the bathroom, so she can do her cooking out there, and we can cook at the same time. But we learned to do this when we lived in the hotels in Manhattan, so it's just easier than sometimes now going out there and because she literally always has stuff on the stove for the most part too, like because Gloria will make lentils.
It's possible. Lisa McCarthy says.
I call BS. You like cooking in the bathroom because you like getting rid of your food as fast as you can eat it. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
It's possible your makeup could have bacteria in it. You should throw it out and start with new one.
Yeah, no, I did do that. I know. It's still kind of irritating. It's so dry now too. All the creams I've had to put, it's like, ugh, so annoying. It's going on forever.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that.
I've just been.
Okay, so I was thinking about Joy's job, but I was thinking about like how much like sickness she comes into contact with, like how much germs and stuff, because she has to like touch people who are like drinking and don't care. She's gonna be sick like all winter, and I don't think she'll get a flu shot or whatever. She needs to go get checked out and maybe mention what she does for a living and see if they have any suggestions.
So all kinds of things been going on with me. My foot, my eyes, my lady time.
Oh, there it is. See, you said you were trying to be constructive and nice, but what you just wrote right now, you just wrote something that you're angry at Joy. You're vindictive. You just said, oh, you just basically called out Joy for being mean and saying mean things. Did you get your feelings hurt? You're not here to help her. You're trying to silence her. So that's what we're pissed off about is that when people like you come in, you play this little passive game of like, oh, I'm trying to help Joy.
Right.
I just want you to, why are you doing that, Rich? But Dina, you just told your true colors right there. You've been watching the show, you got your feelings hurt, and now you're calling out Joy, and now you're vindictive, and you're not trying to help anybody.
No.
You're a liar.
Yep. It's pretty
So
obvious.
Dina, when you're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Where they come in now. Oh.
Say one more shit like that, Adele. Say one more shit like that, you're gone too.
And then they wait for any opportunity.
Ooh,
to
Richie,
hate
my
on
boy,
them.
you're mad. Why you mad, bro?
There's a lot of these people.
Yeah, well, that's funny, Christina. We don't even drink. You must be drunk yourself because you must be hearing the word. You must.
But not all of you. I have a lot of.
Oh, goodness.
What just happened to this? Richard? This one got like something. The screen went to something.
The cats were the baby cats. They were playing with like little spring, and I had the broom up because I was sweeping, and they just knocked it over, and it like flew back, scared the crap out of them. That's what that was.
What happened? On the one that I could see it.
Covered in cat hair.
No.
Do they have the sound of my microphone going through your vocal thing? Oh, so they can barely hear me then.
No, but they can hear you.
Okay. Cool. I didn't even realize that. So I'm making these 85 from.
Christina, are you on opiates? What are you saying it's wrong? What are you suggesting we're doing here?
A little bit on the frozen.
Christina, you're making accusation. I know you're drunk.
Rich is mad.
Put them in the freezer today. You're frozen from the store.
Rich, why do you read every single comment? I guess you have to because you don't have mods, but like, doesn't that ever get to you? Like, because obviously most people that watch you dislike you and disagree with everything you say. Like, take a break sometimes. Like,
Elephantile, you're about ready to get kicked out yourself.
Elephantile? That's a neat name.
So, anyways, yeah, people often.
Yeah, Christina, if you have any questions, we don't do drugs. We don't even drink caffeine.
Like
How much caffeine have you had today?
And with me, that happens a lot. Where they go
Christina, tell us what sort of drugs you're.
friend and pretend to like me, and then it's like second they get a chance to find some. Oh, I know it. Oh, now I can hate on Joy. She did this. Oh, there we go. There it is. There it is. There it is. Now
That's the name of the show.
Oh God. Like, oh, you were looking for something.
Most people are drunk. It's Sunday night after.
You were trying to be my friend, because if you were trying to be my friend, you could look past it. Because instead, it's like first opportunity to find something to hate on me. Like, oh, good. There it is. Good. Now I can hate her forever. Perfect. Yeah, it's just like, all right.
No one hates you.
All right, so I'm gonna do. They have these.
You're not worth hating.
My favorite in the morning basket. They're not the organic ones, but they're like $3 off, which they're normally around like $9. So they were.
Why are you still here?
The different seasonings. Different
Greg
places.
Coco, you go,
So
Greg Coco.
So I got the herb from Province.
Joyce was my grandfather's mistress.
The chili pepper.
Everyone had a crush on Joyce. This is Joy. Yeah, buddy, Joyce.
What was that?
This is Joyce as well.
The what?
Grandpa was Joyce.
Oh yeah, Joyce. Yeah, Gloria calls me Joyce, and then Ginger.
Yo,
Gloria calls me Joyce because Richard's grandpa dated a woman named Joyce after his grandma died. So
That's funny because I'm back here.
He dated this woman named Joyce.
That's funny, Dina. I'm sitting back here.
She calls me Joyce forever.
Guess someone must-
She did not rarely ever call me Joy. Joyce. So that started to irritate me for a while. That I was like, she doesn't even know my name. I've been here for 12 years. She doesn't even
What's
know
your
my
name?
But whatever.
I thought you liked my Joyce stuff.
Say what?
Oh, dark.
I can't hear what you're saying over there. So.
Oh, I'm just reading the comments.
Oh, okay. I can't hear it because that's fine. But I'm gonna you're not gonna hear anyway. So I really like this beef from Whole Foods.
You're a liar, Lily.
I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go tomorrow.
I'm back here. You know what?
I really have
Again, you guys just tell.
Huh?
Oh, hold on. Oh, I just want to point out.
Oh! Sorry.
You see, the haters come in and they say,
I didn't know.
It's a simple thing. I can care less. I have a right to block stuff. They have moderators. That's what they do. That's their job. But the haters come in here and they'll come in and they'll say, like, oh, Richard's deleting stuff, which is a complete lie. I'm sitting over there watching you guys right on TV. I have no way of doing it unless Annette's in there doing it.
There's like whatever. But here's the thing.
Yeah, let's do a panel of myself. We'll do one later.
Now you go in the office. But yeah, I'm super excited about this whole food meet because this was the meat we used to get in Manhattan. And there was an even better one called Nature's Rancher. They discontinued that when we were in Manhattan and they switched to Organic Rancher. But it reminds me of New York, me having this. So I'm actually like, oh, I'm glad to be back to the. But I don't know why. A couple of weeks ago when we tried it, I didn't want it. And I went back to the Sprouts, but now I'm like, I think they were out of it, and so I went to Sprouts, and then I forgot. Like, I actually really like this, so I think we're gonna start doing Whole Foods. It's about the same price as Sprouts. They're both equally expensive when it comes to.
Where did she get the funk meat? Remember the funk meat that she taught us how to cook funk meat? Maybe don't eat the funk meat. Just a thought.
Their beef, but it is the best. Sprouts or Whole Foods have the best. But I'm only doing 2 pounds a day, so that makes it a little more affordable. Where I was doing 3 pounds with the Walmart, so it ends up being about the same price for me. For Richard, he does anywhere from 3 to 4 pounds a day. But this is 85, so I did the 93 today, which was $9.99. He did the 85, which is $8.99. So that is $1 cheaper. He says he likes the 85 best of the Whole Foods bunch. So that'll save a little money there. I'll get him the 85 and me the 93. But they don't do the 3-pack there. But here's the thing: we decided that the better quality meat we get, the less we want to eat. Like in the sense, like we're more satisfied. So you're less hungry. So like it pays off at the end of the day because like even if we're eating the same amount, we're more satisfied. Does that make sense? So like
Who is she
like, well,
talking
I'm
to?
spending money on something that's fully satisfying.
There are
Whereas
two
Walmart, we
cameras?
were like eating it and still feeling hungry no matter how many pounds we ate. But like this was, I mean, so it wasn't really paying off. So I'm very happy with this Walmart meat today. I mean, sorry, Walmart Whole Foods meat today. I really enjoyed the 93. I had some of those, like, oh, it was fabulous. Yeah, Richard's doing the 85. He doesn't like his overcooked, but we don't want to undercook it either. We eat a lot of pretty raw meat around here at times when I don't cook it all the way. I've gotten better. Early on, I used to not cook it all the way through because Richard's really big on, like, don't overcook it, don't overcook it. Now I'm like, dude, I'd rather overcook it than let it have you out eating, like, completely raw meat all the time.
Okay, so how long have they been on this diet? They know where to buy it, they know all the secrets to it and everything else. And she's still accidentally giving him raw burgers. Like they haven't figured out how to, if she does accidentally give him raw ones, like how to fix it. So she starts cleaning up all the way. Like, why don't you leave your pan out so you can fix feeding your husband raw meat? I don't know. Oh well.
I don't ever
None of my
overcook it.
business. Eat whatever
Like,
you
it's
want.
not like well done. It's just like not raw, basically. Rare.
I wish you did eat whatever you
Richard,
want,
when he
though.
makes his, he always thinks they're done before they are. He always pulls them off and they're still like raw. I'm like, told you, you gotta leave it on there longer. He's like, no, they're done. I'm like, yeah. Because he's always so worried that he's gonna overcook his meat. Because he really doesn't like cooked meat cooked like very long. Like this is done now. For his liking. So it is that I would cook in the bathroom. Because honestly, to me at this point, it's easier than dealing with the kitchen. Because you know, like even okay, if Gloria wasn't here, I wouldn't cook in the kitchen. But with Gloria here, much easier than going out there at any level. Oh, and you guys, I'm still sticking with my not cleaning Gloria's kitchen. So it's been going great. It's not she's not mad in any way. It's actually, I think, going better this way where I'm not throwing out her food. So she's all happy. They eat nasty old leftovers, but she's happy because Gloria's lazy with cooking. So she didn't want to have to recook the food, but it's pretty bad leftovers, but whatever. She's happier that way. And I can't stand having it have nasty old leftovers. So if I'm out there, I'll throw it out. So now that I'm not cleaning, I think it's making Gloria happier, but Net doesn't have the best food, so that's the problem. But you know what? She assaulted me, and she kept, complaining about me throwing out certain things. So now she has no complaints about me. Honestly, Gloria has nothing to complain about me now because her only complaint was I was throwing out her food. That was the only thing I was ever doing, was I was throwing out some food in the kitchen, and I'm not doing that at all. So honestly, me and her have like nothing that's causing us any strife between each other. Now, so I was like, I think that was our only thing was the kitchen thing, and now that I stepped out of the kitchen, it's like the best for everybody. So this whole assault thing, it worked out in the sense of Gloria got what she wanted, me to stay out of the kitchen. So maybe that's what she was trying to do. I don't know. And I'm happier because it was actually irritating that I kept having to clean the kitchen. To be honest, I thought that I needed to because Annette wanted it that way, but Annette's fine with it after what happened. Like, I don't think she was expecting me to go out there after she saw Gloria keep hitting me that one day. I think she's like, ah. And you can see why I wouldn't want to go out and be in the kitchen every day. Okay, so here's for Rich. I put a little ginger and chili on top, and then he's got a little hot sauce. Look at this. Now we're gonna clean up. Go give this to Richard. Here you go.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Are you almost done in there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, if you want.
okay, you can just have the camera. I'll switch it to the other camera. Just leave it. Yeah.
Oh, just leave
I'll
them.
switch it to this camera.
Oh, but do you want me to bring any of those cameras in? There's 2 of them in there.
Yeah, bring the other one. Yeah. Okay, so we're using the stream box, so let's see how this thing looks. Oh, can you grab my water back here?
This one you need. Do this one. This one.
Okay, hi guys.
And then do you want the other one at all or no?
No, just leave that on because it's got the microphone. That's why I'm talking to the microphone right now.
But it goes that.
Yeah, it's going through this. I think you guys can still hear me. No. There. How are we? Okay, I think I successfully made the transition.
You're.
Okay, I got it. I'm sure. Yeah, probably. I could probably change it to here, but I like those mics. Hello, test. Can you hear me? Yeah, they can hear me. Test. Can you hear me here? You know, this time.
Okay, so when I was recording today, Monday, I was hearing my name be screamed over and over again. And Rich is really upset with me because I changed my profile picture. It used to be a picture of me in like a Carhartt beanie and holding my dog like this in like a yucky old garage. So I changed my picture to a nice picture of me. And he's so mad. Like, I don't understand why he's so mad about that. Everybody likes to have nice pictures on YouTube, but when I do it, Rich can't stand it. Maybe Rich, put a picture of you up as your not Facebook, YouTube channel. Put your picture up on your YouTube channel, and then come talk to me. I don't understand why he's so mad. Oh well.
Here, it's like you guys are saying all this stuff. This time of year, Joy is doing better than she was 10 years ago when I first experienced my first set of holidays with her. I mean, she was so super depressed. It was like, it was tough. It was tough. So now, look, she's talking to you guys. She's hanging out. She's having a conversation. She's awake. You know, when I first met her, she was asleep basically from like September all the way through the new year. I mean, it was like she was super depressed.
Okay, it's like sickness season here, so I'm like freaking out a little bit. But do you see him like touching all over the place and then he's gonna eat his food like that? Like, Rich, go wash your hands, please.
So, but now she's doing a lot better, guys. And so thank you for all that. You know, thank you for being a part of that. You know, that makes a huge difference to everybody here, because Joy needs someone to kind of hear her story. I mean, that's what this is. This is a communication device, and that's what we're doing. We're communicating. We're expressing our feelings, and we're showing how the importance of. I mean, if you're a parent yourself, I mean, hopefully, if you ever feel insignificant, you realize like, shoot, you know, it's like you're more important than you have any idea. You know, I mean, just your presence and just you saying nice things once in a while make a huge difference on a kid's life. So I think that's really the message that we're trying to convey here as we approach the holidays. How are you guys doing? Everybody, you guys have big plans for the holidays? I know we haven't done Halloween yet, but it seems like we're already into November, doesn't it? Because of the election. So everybody's like talking about the election and everything.
No.
Well, you might have heard her story 1,000 times, but not everyone's heard her story 1,000 times. I mean, maybe show a little compassion. I mean, it's like you realize like we just started blowing up. I mean, that's the most insensitive, rude thing to say. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to be in a room with you. I mean, here's a person like we invited you in. You came over. When did you get here? 2 months ago. Great. So you've heard her story more than once, and not 1,000 times. We haven't done 1,000 times. You may have watched it 1,000 times, but she hasn't told it 1,000 times. But nevertheless, there are new people subscribing to this channel every single day. Somebody literally asked today why we cook in the bathroom. Well, we've been cooking in the bathroom for the last 6 months. So obviously there are new people. You're not the only person here. So when you come in and you start accusing, I mean, just saying insensitive things. I mean, it's the holidays. She's sitting here talking about her dead mother and saying how that feels, and I just really need some people to talk to. You're like, oh my God, I've heard this 1,000 times. Yeah, dude.
It's almost like when they tell the Joy's mom dying story. It's almost like they're putting up a shield, like, you can't say anything mean to us. It doesn't work like that, Rich. It doesn't work like that.
But yeah, but you're in the back. There are other people up here in the front. They're trying to listen. You know, maybe you've heard it, but other people haven't. Plus, she's telling the story. If you've heard it, you could always go find another channel. I'm almost positive that tonight they have our live stream, they have Sunday Night Football, and maybe one other stream. I know not a lot of choices, but look, you can watch football, and I think there's somebody else out there streaming. Go check them out if you've heard her story. But don't come
Just
in
one
and just like
person.
hate on her when she's telling something very personal. That's exactly the opposite of what she needed to hear. So, Dina, you were asking why she doesn't read comments. Because the majority of comments are from very insensitive women that instead of supporting Joy, choose to hurt Joy. Why? Because Joy is an independent, strong woman, much like Kamala Harris. Same reason why a lot of women hate her. They can't handle it. I mean, I can't even imagine being a woman and not
Oh
voting
my
for Kamala.
god.
Are you guys, other women here planning on not voting for Kamala? I'm just curious. It seems like kind of that vote seems done. There's never
Are
been
you
one
gonna
person.
vote?
I mean,
Rich,
she's
are you
got a
voting?
ton of experience and very level-headed. And mind
Are
you,
you allowed to?
And so this isn't a plug for either way. But I'm just wondering, the support you show Joy is like zilch. I mean, you hate on her. So I'm just wondering, are the people that are hating on Joy, do you plan on voting for Kamala or you plan on voting for Trump? I mean, just as a poll. And then for the people who support Joy, who are you voting for? So just say, hey, I support Joy and I'm voting for Trump. I support Joy and I'm voting for Kamala. Or I hate Joy and I'm voting for Kamala. Because
That's
that
what
would
he
tell
wants.
us a
He
lot,
wants to know.
that the haters aren't going to vote for Kamala. And there are other women, instead of supporting women, you guys are just hating, you're part of the problem. I don't know if you guys know this, but women have it fucking shitty in this society. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's shittier than anybody else. It's the worst. Right out the gate. So, I mean, if you're not supporting each other, then who is? You want me to? Jedi Rich? They want Jedi Rich to support the women because they're too busy voting for Trump
What?
on Joy. Can you believe that? Sorry, I'm going to stream over
Who
here.
said that? Oh, there is two
fine.
streams.
I'll do it. But I need some help. Dallas, help me out. Lisa, you got my back on this? I got Dallas and Lisa going to help me.
Twitchy Richie.
Dallas, I don't know who you're voting for. Lisa, I don't know who you're voting for. I don't care. But I would think, gosh, what an opportunity. I mean, it's kind of it's pretty obvious. It's like, it just doesn't seem, I'm not talking politics. I'm just talking because at the end of the day, like you guys said, it doesn't matter who gets elected. They're all going to kind of do what they want to do, which is take away our rights, give us less money, and raise taxes. That's just, at the bottom line, that's what's going to happen. It just depends on who's, which flavor of hot sauce you want, but one way or another, you're getting hot sauce. So I hope you like hot sauce. Anybody clicking on the stream tonight? Does anybody feel like clicking on the stream? You guys feel like doing that? Trump? Kamala is DEI. Okay. Got it. Love thyself. You're all about Trump. Okay, so a lot of Joy supporters are Trumpers. Makes sense. He's in the military. Lisa, Richard, do you think the election is going to cause chaos? I really am worried and anxious about it. I haven't given it much thought, but Joy has given it enough thought. Well, she doesn't give things like that thought, but she's just kind of she says yes. Huge chaos. It's almost like she's worried if Trump wins, she's worried what the Democrats would do. The last time Trump won, they did COVID. They shut down the whole world. So, if Trump wins again, she's not sure they'll win. Now, if the Democrats win, she's not sure what the Trumpers are going to do. So, yeah, it's going to be chaotic either way. How do you guys feel? Total chaos or not enough chaos? Kamala's not a convicted felon. Okay. What was she convicted of? She's not. Okay, she's not convicted. Okay, good. Did not go and raise $7 million for the hurricane victims and put that in her pocket. Yeah, okay. Well, Kathy, that's kind of getting into okay, so you're voting for Kamala. I get that. But just so you know, it's like, I kind of feel, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into that because it's like everyone kind of has dirt on everybody. But at the end of the day,
it's really grossing me out. I think he has a bunch of sauce on the meat too, and he's just holding it like that. It's gross.
It just seems like it kind of seems like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys decide what you guys want to do. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Yuck.
Mm-hmm. Rich, I'm writing you in total chaos. I'm writing you in total chaos. Hi, man. We're talking about the election now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little dinner chat. This is the intellectual portion? Okay. Not while I'm eating with my mouth full. This is more like, hey man, I'm starving and I gotta eat. And here I am hanging out and we're doing a live stream and actually quite awesome. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. Even when we banter, I just couldn't wait to come and argue with you. I know, you guys know me better than that. You know what? I'd love to do it. And no, I'm not Pickle. Dark Uncle, it's just it's kind of like Dark Uncle and I have.
I wanted to stop and tell Jared happy birthday. Today on Monday is his birthday. So happy birthday.
A love-hate relationship. Joy eats. She eats a pound. Just like me.
A pound?
But she doesn't like to eat on camera
But she
because he thinks it's rude.
No, you've made her eat
I
on
stand
there
corrected and will
before.
anxiously await. Wait.
No. Okay, so now Joy thinks it's rude to eat on camera. But every time someone tells Rich that it's fishy that she doesn't eat on camera, Joy will slowly sit on the bed and eat. No. That's not what happens. Look where I paused it.
I hope you don't got your man. You're gonna build it up. I have nothing planned. Other than doing a little dance, make a little get down there.
Did he get money?
Okay. What I'm doing right now is a very streaming software platform. What I'm using right now is a platform called StreamYard. And I'm comparing it to the one I was using before, which is Streamlabs. And there are pros and cons on both of them. But one of the cons I noticed just now is that it is very. I know they do a 720 and they do a 30 frames per second, but it's like really like. Let's put it this way: you can put 60 frames per second on Streamlabs, and 60 makes it more smooth. Annette is sleeping. Annette's sleeping right now. Richard, how is your mom feeling? Is her mouth pain better? I think so. I haven't heard a word. 24 FPS is always looking so good. I know. It really is. I don't know how that became the standard. It might be a private. I mean, what a great movie, Saving Private Ryan. Unfortunately, they did it in digital, and it just really kind of 24 FPS. It just didn't work.
I'm probably, after this one, I'm going to try to watch The Day That Gloria Went to Dentist, get through that one. I kind of understand what's going on, but I want to make sure I watched everything. And they said the mouthwash, she needs a certain type of mouthwash. I wonder if we could just send that to the house. Or if Rich would somebody could send it to the house. Not that I am, but somebody could send it. Because I think that's what Gloria thinks is going to fix her mouth. It's like a medicated mouthwash. It's like $12 or something. I don't know what it's called yet, but I'm going to watch that one next and talk about that probably. Rich is being boring, so I don't know.
Did you get this stuff the doctor recommended? Yeah, hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, we had some actually.
Oh.
It was just hydrogen peroxide. There wasn't any prescription.
Never mind.
Hi, Olga. Great idea. I'm going to talk to her about that idea you had. You know, she really should start writing stuff down. She used to write a lot. She used to be a writer. And this is all we eat for dinner. This is it. That's all we're going to have.
Wow.
You know, she said she had an infection. I know. Have you ever added pepper to your beef? I used to. When I used to eat greens and vegetables, I used to do that.
Ew.
And I put garlic in it. And we eat a lot of kale. So it's kale and garlic and then the organic beef.
Ew, 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 ew.
Yeah, it helped me so much, even though I didn't want to do it at the time. I know. I look back, I know. We have to get Joy on it, but she's kind of chilling, enjoying herself.
Hurry up and finish, Rich. It's so gross.
Hey, Richard, why again? We've never voted. I don't know. Joy
Then why are you talking about it so much and asking other...
might vote this year. Well, I thought we could do
If Rich has never voted, and why is he so curious about how other people are going to vote? And, making it almost like a defense mechanism. Well, who are you going to vote for? Kamala? Why do you care so much if you don't even vote? So weird.
We get Joy, Annette, and Gloria, and me, but of course I'll stream it. And all three ladies will go down and vote this year. Yay!
You're going to vote?
Thank you so much. How are you? I love you. Dicky. Thank you, Miss Sims. I appreciate it. Um, hmm. Really, honestly, we don't need them.
This is all the end of
We
this
stopped
is.
eating
You
them.
got 8 more minutes.
At first, I thought I'd hate it, but then I found out we didn't need them. I mean, I feel just fine. Fournette. Who the hell is Fournette? I have no idea who Fournette is. Oh, I'm sorry. I know. Joy was laughing. I wish I could film Joy when I was doing it. She could not stop laughing. Dick the plumber. I have you in my head going, diggy, diggy, diggy. Please do research before voting. Don't just vote for her because she's a female. I know. Well, they probably will, but they're not going to tell us who they're voting for. But I think we will do a little voting session. I think it'll be fun. By the way, I want to thank you guys for being so supportive of Joy. You know what I mean? You guys are really great. I mean, there are a couple of people that were kind of like,
You're welcome.
like being like really like condescending. But this is just a tough time of year. Normally she sleeps through the whole everything. I mean, she goes to bed at 7. You know, wakes up like she wakes up at 4, but it's just like she goes to bed early. So I need my glasses. I know, I do. Now that's much easier for me to read. I know I was only reading the comments that I could read. Hey guys, how are you? Kendall, if you eat what? Kendall, I can't understand you. Love thyself. Breeder has the best. He also funny. I laugh my ass off. Fournette. I want to know about this Fournette thing. That was weird. Rich, wait, you told her that we were all mean. What the fuck, Rich? Gemini Mama, how was your weekend, Lisa McCarthy? Anything fun? Love thyself. Oh my God, Rich, she showed up. She's always here. She just doesn't comment. Hey, I'm home for Kamala Harris because of the fact that I want to keep my constitutional rights. I want to write LBGT. Yeah, I got a feeling that that's a big issue because from what I gather, okay, when I hear the ads, Kamala is all about like, dude, we're going to protect your rights. We're going to make sure you have what you need. Talking about rights, talking about fairness. When you hear about the Republican side, all they're talking about is we're going to like keep out all the illegal immigrants so that you guys will have more resources, more money for you, and we're going to lower your taxes so that you can have more money. It's all about, on the Republican side, the reason to vote for Kamala is all about, the reason not to vote for Kamala is that you're going to lose money. Now, my experience is money is never a reason to vote for anybody. I mean, and that's the biggest argument I hear. Now, the argument I hear on the other side is restoring.
So money isn't a reason to vote for someone. Like, what's going to happen to your money? Their gender is. So based on the fact that Kamala's a girl, everyone should just vote for her. That's what you were saying yesterday. That's crazy.
Women's rights. That's a huge thing for me. I mean, it's just a mental thing that we even have a law against that. So it's like if one side is pushing for the rights, like, and not only that, but legalizing marijuana and other things too, like just making things more right for the people, and the other side, all they're talking about is, hey man, I'm going to lower taxes so you get more money. Well, I'm like, well, you can have your money, dude. It's like you're trying to buy me. And anytime I hear a politician giving me more money, it's like, well, yeah, you're handing me money, but what are you taking away? Right. They're taking away your rights. So
they're trying to buy you. You and your wife sell your wife together. You literally sell another human for their uses.
Saying, look, vote for me, I'll give you more money. But we're doing it, we're gonna take away all your rights. And so that's the big issue I have. Now that's not me saying one way or another. I mean, I don't have an opinion either way. I'm not gonna, I probably will vote now. And we kind of talked about it, but
you won't vote.
Because they talk about
you probably can't.
If I'm down there, I'm gonna vote. So, but those are the big arguments that I'm hearing right now, and so that's kind of what makes me kind of think like, well, I don't like the idea of like your biggest argument is that oh, prices are so high right now. Prices are not high because
Rich would have to register to vote, right? Like all of them would. Pretty sure that's how you do it.
The Biden. Prices are high because of COVID. And just so you know, the one thing we learned
I don't know
about
in their
shutting
state.
down the government and everything and every job for 6 months is that no one is doing anything. There's nothing that really needs to be done. Like, aside from, unless you, okay, as long as you don't
Shut
need
up, Rich!
a hospital or firemen, you pretty much
Straight
don't
up.
need, like government. Like the government was shut down and nobody even really noticed. I mean, grocery stores were still delivering food. It was just like, okay, everything's shut down. It's like, but somehow everything's happening. Everything, besides people delivering stuff, but that's going to be replaced with robots, as you guys know. And it's like very, very interesting to me. So the thing that startled me was like, wow, we've got 300 million people going to jobs every day that stopped going to work, and basically nobody even noticed, and they kept getting paychecks somehow. Somehow they got paychecks. How did that happen? Right. And so now you're saying, oh my God, there's inflation. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you work for AT&T and they were shut down.
Rich talking about politics is like a cat talking about how to lay eggs.
They weren't making any sales, and no one was going to work for 2 months, maybe longer. I mean, how long do people stay home?
Pointless.
I think New York was like over a year. I mean, because we were in Manhattan in 2021, and nobody had returned back to the office, and they're begging people to come back. I mean, I think the office buildings were full. It's so much more than inflation. I know. Anyways, but the point is that it just seems like when it's all money related. That's when I get a little skeptical. But yeah, but I'm just going off the commercials. You know, I look at the counter side of the commercial because I hear what Kamala's saying on her ads, and her stance is like, look, there are some rights, human rights. Okay, there's a reason why. Just so you know, there's a reason why the Republicans didn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Okay, Trump was so adamant about proving and being right and getting things done, he did it. Well, that's a big deal. You just now took away when right now the reason why the Republicans never did it was because they never wanted to have to run on that issue again. Now Trump basically it's like, dude, I don't care how much tax you're saving, I don't care how many walls you're going to build, but I want, like, okay, I'm not so concerned about my sister, but if I was you guys, I want my children, my sister to have the ability to have the right of their own body. Like, and so it's like that's such an old argument. That's why the Republicans never ever overturned it. They argued against it, they threatened it, they used it as a tool. You know, they used it like we're gonna take that away. But no one ever did it exactly for the reason they don't want to have to run against it in an election because, quite honestly, any woman who votes like for Trump is voting against their own rights. It makes no sense. It would be like a Jewish person voting for Adolf Hitler. It's kind of like, well, dude, but he's cutting my taxes, man. Yeah, but dude, it's Adolf Hitler, bro. Yeah, but he's cutting my taxes. You know, if the other person gets elected, I'm gonna go out of business. It's like you know what I mean. So it's kind of like it's one of those type of deals. But not to get too political.
Not
just
too
how
political.
I see it, man. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. But it does seem like the argument. I mean, Trump did overturn Roe v. Wade, and whether you agree with that or not, it's wrong. Every other, like all of Europe has it. Mexico, every country, it's allowed. It's wrong to make a woman not have that right, and arrest women and arrest doctors. And and the worst part is that these are men. The men, it's Donald Trump. And here in Nevada, it's Sam Brown. It's men who are pushing these laws, not women. So it's like it just turns into this gender thing that it's like, dude, these are rights. And if they take away that, the point is, if they take away that right, what's next? I mean, it's gonna go. I mean, you want your guns, but for what? What's a 6-shooter gonna do against a tank? I mean, they're taking away your human rights, and so you have to realize what's happening. And so just be aware of what this election's about. I mean, it's not about.
Yeah, just be aware,
like,
guys.
I mean, the inflation, man. It's like that's caused by all sorts of factors. I mean, there's also, you know, you guys remember there was like this huge war going on, like 2 of them that we're basically funding and financing. I mean, we're not fighting him, but I think it's costing us.
Hurry up, Rich. Get over your rant.
But, you know, it's an economy thing. So, anyways, I'm not saying anything about it, but I just really hope that you guys just you know, feel the support, feel the love. And I thank you guys all for helping my mom, my sister, and my wife. I mean, this is what they needed. So, thank you guys. Really appreciate the stream. We'll talk to you guys a little later. I'm gonna go sit and comfort my wife now, as you guys would like me to do in private. So thanks, guys. I had a great time. It was really fun. Have a good night. And good night to you guys over here.
Okay, so I'm done with that one. I wanted to say that Rich and Joy have screamed so many different opinions throughout the years on how they are going to vote and everything, and I don't think they've ever once voted or even signed up to vote or anything like that. It's like they just want to talk about what everyone else is talking about, and I don't think they should be allowed to have their opinions out there on almost anything because they're crazy. But that's about the end of that one, and thanks for coming, And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.